Hello, people of YouTube. My name is Steve Gray, and thank you for watching. Today, we are talking about Jujutsu Kaisen. I believe we are on episode 17, if I remember correctly. Yes, episode 17. And this episode is all about the ladies, except they're kicking the crap out of each other. We kind of learn their different views on a couple of things as well. So for starters, we got Kujisaki versus Momo. That is kind of like the first fight that we get to see. So Momo is a third year, Kujisaki is a first year. They are duking it out pretty good. I don't think we see any guys pretty much in the entire episode, minus kind of one point where they're like judging the students, assessing rank, things along those lines as well. But they're duking it out. It doesn't seem like Kujisaki really has a chance, but we learned that she was doing this crazy plan all along with her curse technique. So she's shooting the nails all over the place, in the trees, things along those lines, and she keeps missing Momo being on her broomstick almost like a witch, and constantly missing every single attack, really nothing she can do. We learned that Momo's ability is to basically control air to a certain extent. She can create large wind blasts, so kind of think Pain from Naruto, with, the almighty push. That's basically her ability. And she keeps hitting her with that over and over and over again, but, to no real effect. We don't really know what rank she is. At least I don't know off the top of my head. I don't remember if they mentioned what her rank was. I think she was a grade 2, I want to say. It was either grade 2 or grade 3, somewhere in that general area. I know it wasn't a grade 1. There's only one grade 1, and that is Todo himself. So they're fighting. She's dodging all the nails all over the place, and then she starts spewing off about what it means to be, a woman jujutsu sorcerer. And that basically, for men, you fight with emotions, anger, and power, but it's not like that for women. You got to be perfect because you got to be beautiful, you got to be attractive, and you got to be powerful. You got to be all these different things to all these different people. And then, Kujisaki is just like, yeah, I don't care about your ideals. I'm strong. I look good when I get dressed up. Shut up. I am beating you, and get these ideas, these kind of bad ideas out of your head that you're making it so it's so much harder to be one than a man. I think she's basically saying that they're kind of on the same playing field, which based on how all of these women were fighting, they are definitely on the same playing field as all of the guys very easily. And they're fighting, fighting. And then she finally gets a part of her broomstick. After she does all the nails in the tree, she uses it, her curse technique to kind of overwhelm Momo, bounces off of the nails, stepping on them in the trees, gets part of her broom in a voodoo doll where she uses the hammer on it, where she no longer has control, gets her on the ground, and she realizes, she's like, I can't hit her with my actual hammer because I'll kill her. So we learn that she doesn't actually want to kill anybody, even though I think technically they allow it in certain circumstances. I don't know if it's like the main thing to do. Maybe when everybody's trying to kill Itadori, it's a training accident, as they like to call it. But she takes out like a toy plastic hammer and still leaves a huge mark on her face. She actually gets her back because Momo ended up kind of hitting Kujisaki in the face, and she got really mad because she's like, you dare mark up my pretty voice? And that's kind of where the transition to men and women, got into. It was like, for men, a scar on their face is a sign of a tough battle, of a struggle. For a woman, it's just something that's ugly, that takes away from their beautiful face. And that's how that whole situation kind of played out. And she would have won if it wasn't for Mai shooting a freaking rubber bullet at her and knocking her out. And, she, unbeknownst to her, she had no idea she was in the area, but Mai did it at the end of her range, shot it. And that's kind of where we get into the next fight. So, if I scroll back up to my characters, Maki and Mai are twin sisters, which I didn't know that because I don't know if we got the last names or not. But they don't look exactly the same either, so if they are twins, they're probably more like fraternal twins. I guess maybe it's because of the different hairstyle and the glasses that's throwing me up a little bit, and they go to different schools as well. So we know that Maki doesn't have actual cursed energy. I don't. She can see spirits, but that's basically it. She doesn't have a curse technique. So she is like superhumanly physically strong. Everybody's saying she is a grade 2. But we learn that her and her sister are part of this kind of clan. And, the head of the clan is always a guy, and so they were the firstborn twins. They said twins are, kind of a bad omen. And when they're born, typically they are born with, I think, a combination of superhuman strength and a curse technique. However, Mei got the curse technique and Maki only got the superhuman strength. So they kind of paired it off of each other. I would say they're both very strong with their techniques as well. But Maki takes on Kaisumi, the girl with the blue hair, first and foremost. Those two are duking it out, and she tries to do this like small domain thing where basically anybody inside of her domain she can cut with her sword. But Maki isn't having any of it, and she beats her very well, steals her sword. I don't know if she knocks her out or not, but she is no longer in the game. And then, as I said, the two twins end up meeting together because of Mai shooting Kugisaki, rather. And that's how that fight happens. And now it's the two sisters fighting against each other. And we learned that they were very close when they were younger, but the problem was they were basically going to be servants. That both of them weren't, extraordinary like the clan members are supposed to be. And Maki, is kind of looked down upon because she doesn't have a curse technique. So she decided to leave the clan to become a Jujutsu sorcerer because she couldn't stand, being a servant the rest of her life. She didn't want to just do chores, be a household kind of woman, for the rest of her life, just answering to the head of the clan. And I completely get that. And it made Mai angry because she wanted her with her. And the only reason Mai, the twin sister, decided to become a Jujutsu sorcerer was because she left and she wanted to get, back together with her. She hates her because she left the clan, left her alone, and kind of left her there to rot by herself while she was off doing, greater and better things. And she explained this to her. She was like, look, I like you, you're my sister. I'm always going to like you. I want you in my life. But at the same time, you need to understand where I'm coming from. I was basically rotting away there, and I'm not going to waste my entire life just to, be with you. And I don't think Mai or Mai, however you say her name, I don't think she realizes how incredibly selfish that is of her. To rely that heavily on a person that they literally sacrifice their entire life and their entire person for you, no matter how much they like you. That's a really messed up way of thinking. And you think Maki is about to die, as you can see in the thumbnail, because Mai's curse technique is she can create and manifest a physical form, a physical object that once the curse technique is over is still there. And she has a revolver with 6 bullets, so she purposely uses a revolver with 6 bullets as a bluff because then she has a 7th bullet. And you think Maki's going to win anyway, and then just like, 7th bullet goes right in front of her face. But because Maki is so humanly strong, she actually catches the bullet in her bare hand, and she's like, ooh, that's hot, that's hard. That's not something you normally want to catch. And then she ends up defeating Mai, and that is the end of that. That's kind of where the episode leads off. Next episode, it looks like Fujiguro is finally getting his fight, his time in the limelight. We may or may not see Itadori again, but we're getting a lot more characters. It was kind of the main 3 in Gojo were the only characters we got for quite a while. Now with this cross schools event, everybody is getting together. So we learned that, Maki and Mei's clan is very petty, and they won't let her rank up because they're angry. So she's a grade 4, but obviously nobody in the school in their school, as we learn, can, have them rank up. You rank up, you gain more money. And they refuse to give her a higher rank because they are petty. She wants to become the head of her clan and come back. And the head of the clan says, try it. We're gonna do everything to make it harder for you to do it, as the head of the clan should have, to grow better as a person. So it was kind of a blessing and a curse, because it's making it harder for her, but also developing her character more as well. Kujisaki also says that she likes Maki better than Mei because they had literally the same exact upbringing. They're twins, but she did something better with it. Instead of being petty and jealous, angry and hating the world because she didn't get a curse technique, she developed her superhuman abilities even stronger, got even more powerful, so that way she can defeat curses of a higher grade more easily. And then maybe one day she'll be head of the clan. But she doesn't have any cursed energy, so she has to slowly rely on her fighting abilities, which, I would say match and or are better than Itadori's and possibly even Toto's. We've never seen them face each other, so we don't know how that pans out at all. But meanwhile, Panda's done with his fight, so he's off actually killing cursed spirits, trying to win this thing. Everybody's fighting each other. Nobody's actually trying to kill cursed spirits. And there is 2 colors. So basically they have tags on all of the cursed spirits. They have tags on their wall where Gojo and all the other faculty and staff are watching the fight through like crows or something. I guess, somebody has a cursed technique with animals, and crows show up and they can see everybody else fighting. And also one of the members of the other school, so not the first years at Tokyo Jujutsu, the Koto Jujutsu High School, they're the ones that have to do the ranking for the Tokyo Jujutsu and vice versa, so that way nobody's messing each other up. She even says, well, just let her have the rank already. She clearly deserves it. So hopefully Maki finally gets, or Maki, so many different ways you can possibly pronounce that. But hopefully she gets her rightful rank as she deserves for the foreseeable future. This was a great episode overall. I'm going to give this one a higher rank than my other episodes this week. This one's getting 8 out of 10. Easy 8 out of 10, maybe pushing 9. Maybe, I'm going to go with 8.5. We'll do right in the middle, because it's kind of hard to determine where this one fully lies. But great episode. They did this right. They weren't shoving female empowerment in your face as some TVs and movies like to do. They just showed women being badass, doing their own thing, and it worked. They weren't forcefully. Sometimes, like female Ghostbusters, for example, that's why a lot of people hated it, because it was like shoving it in your face. You don't need to shove it in your face. Do a Wonder Woman. The original Wonder Woman, the fantastic movie, this kind of similar formula to this. Didn't copy it to a T, but they know how to use, do the female character correctly, and do them justice where everybody likes them, everybody can see something in them, and be happy about the outcome. So thank you for watching. My name is Steve Gray. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell, leave a like, and comment down below what you would like me to do for future anime and cartoon-related videos. Thank you for watching, and as always, have a good one.